Today at the House of Hacks, we're going to go from this to this. Hi makers, builders, and do-it-yourselfers, Harley here. Just a quick reminder, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the House of Hacks channel for more videos like this one. And click like if you hoard leftover material from projects with the hope of using it sometime in the future. My friend Rich expanded and renovated his photography studio earlier this year, and in the process, door hardware was changed. The previous hardware left behind some holes that Rich wanted an easy, cheap solution to fixing and/or hiding. His studio has kind of a chic, industrial look to it, and I had some leftover material in the scrap pile that gave me an idea. I made a prototype, showed him, he installed it, and loved it. Later in the week, we made several more to meet his needs. Let's look at how we did this. For this build, I used some leftover sheet metal, some marking tools, some cutting tools, a smoothing tool, some bending tools, and a hole cutting tool. I started with some leftover galvanized sheet metal. This is supposed to be used for heating ducts that I had left over from a home remodel project several years ago. I cut off a piece an inch wider than we wanted the covers and long enough to cut out 4 more with room to spare. Then I cut off individual squares from the long piece. I filed the edges to remove any burrs. Next, I measured ½ an inch from each side on the corners, drew a diagonal line through the intersection, and cut off the corners. With the corners cut, I used a small metal brake to fold over ½ inch on each edge. Then I used a hammer to finish the fold by flattening it out. A center finder gave me the center of each piece, giving me the position to drill a hole using the circle cutter. This wasn't the best tool for the job, but in the end got it done. Not without a bit of mishap though. And it did generate a bit of heat. Afterwards, I realized I probably should have used a couple drops of cutting oil. Also, I probably could have used a lathe tool blank to make a custom cutter that might have worked better, but the hole still got cut, albeit with more force than finesse. Once the holes were cut, Rich took them to the studio and installed them. This was one of those small details that if it wasn't done would look bad, but in place hardly isn't even noticed. Altogether, this took about 90 minutes to do 4 plates and didn't require any new materials, just scraps left over from a previous project. I'd love to hear in the comments, how often do you do projects using leftovers? Are you like me and have a stack of materials for unknown future projects? If this is your first time here at House of Hacks, welcome. I'm glad you're here and would love to have you subscribe. I believe everyone has a God-given creative spark. Sometimes this manifests through making things with a mechanical and technical bent. Through this channel, I hope to inspire, educate, and encourage these types of makers in their creative endeavors. Usually, this involves various physical media, like metal, as in this case, wood, electronics, photography, and other similar materials. If this sounds interesting to you, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you again in the next video. Thanks for joining me on our creative journey. Now go make something. Perfection's not required, but fun is.